What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. Today, we're going to have a different type of conversation. Not the one you hear on the internet and not the one that gets trapped inside a podcast clip. We talking culture, we talking history, we talking Black America and how we love the flash. While we love the cars, the chains, the labels, the suits, the designer, the attention. See, people love to say, black folks too flashy. We spend our money wrong. We always trying to show off. But very few people actually understand where it started. And that's what I'm here to break down right now. See, we got to start where all Black American stories start. Slavery. You got to understand the psychology of people who were once treated like property, who were bought and sold, who were bred like cattle. We were told you are nothing. You worked the field in rags. You were never allowed to own anything. Your name wasn't your own. Your family was not guaranteed. So even the littlest things became big things. When it was time to go to church, when it was time to go to a funeral, when it was time to go to a wedding, that's when you pulled out your best. You might have been a slave Monday through Saturday, but Sunday morning, you walked in that church like a king.
Now watch this.
The divide started even inside the slave system. House slaves wore better clothes. Field slaves wore rags. House slaves got the leftovers from the master. Field slaves barely had a pair of shoes. But the moment there was a chance to put on something nice, the psychology shifted. Look at me. For this moment, I'm somebody. Clothing was never just clothing. It was a fight for humanity. When emancipation came, the chains came off, but the stigma stayed. Black Americans migrated north. Memphis, Harlem, Chicago, Detroit. And what happened? The need to look like somebody got stronger. Because now you walking past white people in the street. Now you gotta apply for a job. Now you gotta try to move into their neighborhoods. And everywhere you went, you felt that stare. Look at those Negroes. Who do they think they are? And black folks said, I'll tell you exactly who I am. Watch how I step out this door. Now let's get real. In the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, black communities had something they called the juke joint. It wasn't a bar, it wasn't a club, it was a stage. The common man who spent all week in a factory, in a field, in somebody else's house, he could step in the joint on Friday night and be somebody. The suit, the hat, the shoes, the watch. For those hours, you were not a second-class citizen. You was the flyest man in the city. And this created something we still see today. The mad money dynamic. Black Americans who barely had enough to save would spend weeks paying bills, but the moment the weekend hit, that check hit the bar, the club, the fit, the liquor, and the show out. Why? Because Monday through Friday, the world beat us down. Saturday night, we need to feel alive. Now I gotta talk about Sunday mornings. The church became the original black fashion show. The ladies with the hats, the men with the shiniest shoes, the tailor-made suits, the starched dresses, the babies with bow ties. And why? Because if God is king, we gonna walk in this house like royalty. But underneath that, it was also about dignity and self-respect and trying to repair what the world kept stripping away. Fast forward, the same spirit still lives in us. The designer labels, the foreign cars, the jewelry, the red bottoms, the Gucci, the Balenciaga, the rollies. It ain't just about flexing. It's about survival trauma. Look at me. After everything my people been through, I still look like something. That's what they don't understand. And in 2025, it's worse now. IG, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, real-time flexing. Now the need to show status ain't just once a week, it's daily. But the root is still the same. I refuse to feel invisible. Now listen, I ain't saying it's right, I ain't saying it's wrong. But I'm saying it's human, it's historical, and it's deeply rooted in our trauma. You can't heal 400 years of being told you ain't nothing without wanting to feel like somebody sometimes. Here's what I want to say to the young brothers and sisters coming up. Don't let your worth live in your clothes. Don't let your value sit in a car note. Don't let the chains wear you. Because you somebody with or without all of that. The fact that you are still here after everything our people survived, that alone makes you somebody. Because see, the system knows what they did to us. That's why they feed the cycle. Make sure we value the chains, the brands, the flash. Because if we ever wake up, if we ever put that money into ownership, land, education, and empowerment, they can't control us no more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we flash. It ain't just about ego. It ain't just about flexing. It's deeper than the surface. It's about 400 years of being told we ain't nothing and refusing to believe it. But the next level is not just looking like somebody. It's about building something that can't be taken. And I feel like that's the truth behind Black America's love of status. Like, comment, subscribe, Established Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.